Everyone, welcome to VLSI Academy. This is 18th lecture, and in previous video we have seen the understanding of flip-flop to flip-flop path timing report. Now in this lecture we will see the understanding of input-output timing report. All right, let's get started. So first is reg to out path, which means flip-flop to output path. And first, if you see, is start point and end point related details. So first start point is your register, and its 34th bit is the start point actually. So register bank is there, and entire bus is going to some ports, and you can see that 34th bit is your start point flip flop, and your end point is a port, and the output port is clocked by same clock as start point. Primary underscore clock is the clock name. So start point and end point are clocked by same clock. After that, if you see, mode, corner, scenario related details are there. It is generally project specific or company specific. You can say it varies from company to company, project to project, foundry to foundry. It varies. After that, if you see, there is path group, and path group is outputs type. So this is actually auto type. This is auto path group. Nowadays tools are that much capable that it is able to make three different type of path groups by default with some weight. Path groups are usually created by the tool to put some higher weight effort on that while optimizing it in order to meet the timing. By default, tool will make three different type of path groups in general, which is generally of first is major clocks type, which is in generally for reg to reg. So R to R, that is internal flip flop to flip flop paths. So major clocks, for that it will try to create path group. That is first kind. Second is into reg path and reg to out paths. So this is reg to out. So path group is outputs, and if it is into reg, it would be inputs type path group. And path type is max, that means it is setup. If it is min, it will be hold. And sigma is 3.0. So sigma is actually related to on-chip variation related factors. We will come to that later on in the further videos. Right now it is not in the scope, so we will leave it as it is. Let's go further. After this, we have point, increment, and path. We have talked about this earlier also. Point indicates your how the data is flowing, how the timing arc is flowing from start to end, and this is your arrival type data. So if you see here, this is the graphical representation of this, and this is the start point. As we talked about, this is your start point, and this is nothing but sender slash o data reg 34 bit. So this is your start point, and output is the end point. So output is address slash 34. We can simply write it as ep endpoint. Now in between there is some logic, that is your combo logic. This is your combo logic which is represented here. So your, if you see, the arc is actually coming from some clock. So let's say this is your clock port from where the data will be starting to flow, and it will go like this, and it will end at this endpoint. After that, partially the other half of this path would be actually into reg for some other partition. The neighboring partition of your design, which will get integrated at the top level, will be seeing other half as into reg, which you are seeing, half of which you are seeing as reg to out path. Now let's see how this path is actually graphically being drawn out. So first, if you see, is the clock network delay. This is ideal clock. Please note, this is ideal clock. It means whatever the delay is mentioned here is actually an estimated delay. This is not a real delay. This is estimated delay, and we have mentioned this in previous video also. Please check out the link in description about this. And now this network delay is 50 ps, which means that from this start point till it reaches the sync point, it will be taking about 650 ps to reach this clock pin of the flip flop. So if you see, if it reaches the clock pin of this flip flop, it has taken total data path delay till now is 50 ps, this one. And after that comes the Q pin. So this is your CK pin of the flip-flop. And if you see sender slash O data h slash Q pin, so Q pin is this pin, and the delay is actually increased by 28 ps. Increment is 28 ps. That means clock to Q delay or the cell delay of this is 28 ps approximately. And total delay will be in this column, that is 78 ps so far. And after that comes the logic. So combo logic, if you see here, this is your sender slash some cell name, instance name is this, and the cell name is this. So ref name, we also call it as reference name, ref name, and this is mentioned in the brackets. So by name nomenclature is actually foundry specific, and by indication we can see it would be an inverter, and that inverter is taking around 7.2 ps. Let's mark it as 7 ps. So the nomenclature here is followed in the units of ns, but I am converting it to ps for ease, that is picoseconds. And after this inverter we are seeing one more cell, sender slash pre-cts of some random number which is given by the tool, and then the pin name, a pin of this inverter, and that inverter is taking around 19 ps. So if you see, it is taking 19 ps. So total will be adding it here. And after that there is one buffer which is taking around 40 ps. So combo delay, total combo delay would be 40 plus 59, 40 plus 19 is 59, and then 7 66 plus 78. So total is around, so far if you see till this buffer, it is 146 ps. And then comes the address slash 34, that is out. So this indicates the direction of your port. This point is indicating your direction of the port, and total data arrival is calculated. Total data arrival will be from this point. So 50 plus 28 plus this delay plus some delay of this port will be there, some small delay. So here it is around 21 ps if you see. So 21 picoseconds of this port delay, and till that point whatever the delay is, actually this much I have mentioned here, and that is around 168 ps. This is your total arrival time is calculated by this tool so far. Now comes the column of required time. So required time is actually calculated in the capture clock path, and that would be from this point clock port to the end point, and that would be calculated like this if you see. So there is nothing but only the clock in this path, and then comes the output port as the end point. So if you see, the clock is primary underscore clock with the period. So period is mentioned like this. Now if you graphically see, to calculate setup, the launch is at this edge and capture happens at this edge. We have already talked about this in previous videos. Any of the video if you take, you will be able to find this explanation related to this. So that is why increment here is 0, while here in the rising edge it is full clock period, that is 400 ps. And clock network delay will again come into picture. This is estimated because it is ideal. Explanation is mentioned in the previous video, link is given in the description about that. And that 50 ps will also get added to this. Why? Because this is the clock latency that it will take for the clock to reach at the end point. And output, then comes the clock uncertainty. So there will be some uncertainty that comes because of skew and jitter and other factors, but that uncertainty, again, this is clock is ideal, so it is an estimated uncertainty. Okay, so that is around 33 ps. That would be subtracted. Why it is subtracted? So we have mentioned that also in the calculation of setup time slack. That video is there in the playlist, you can check out that. And then comes the output external delay. So since we know that this is half of the path and other half would be covered by somebody else, so estimated delay from this point till it reaches to this point, there will be some estimated output external delay. We cannot take entire clock period for the calculation of the arrival time and required time. So required time will be reduced by the portion which would be taken by somebody else. So that delay is covered in the output external delay, and that would be estimated here by either given to you by the person who will be optimizing it, or you can constrain it on your own based on your estimation. So here it is estimated as 280 ps, so we can say that 280 ps is already taken by somebody else. So that 280 ps will be subtracted from your required time. This becomes final required time, 450 minus 33 minus 280. That calculation comes out to be 136 ps. This 136 ps is your required time, and your data is reaching here by 168 ps. That means your data is reaching late, so there is a violation, and that calculation is given here, and that is 32 ps. So 32 ps, by 32 ps you are actually violating the design. You need to optimize it. So that is an explanation of how do we read the report of reg to out paths.
That's all for today. In next video, we will understand into-reg timing path report. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please give your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.